So okay, I'll start from the beginning. So my parents didn't my parents weren't perfect. They were like abusive in some ways, and that like fucks me up mentally a little bit. So when I turned, I had really good grades in school.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I had a full ride scholarship. But when I turned about 17, I started to smoke synthetic pot, drink all the time, and take acid. And then I met my ex wife, and um, the music's fine. I like it.
All right.
Um, yeah, you can play what you want, but I I was just kind of crashing out. I took like a really large shroom trip, and I put the mushrooms in water, and it toxified them. So I didn't come down really for a month with the synthetic pot usage at the same time. So I ended up married. Didn't really realize what I did until like a month later. I was like, "Fuck! I'm married. And I'm 18. What the fuck?" But I moved out my parents' house, moved in with my ex, um, and we uh, we just kind of like smoked all the time, um, and she just went downhill. Like she was like skinny. She was like she was beautiful in high school, but um, she just like she'd she'd browse her phone so much and lay in bed all day. Like she wouldn't go to the bathroom. She wouldn't brush her teeth or anything. And after 2 years of that, of like her like yelling at me and hitting me and stuff, and I would work and pay for shit, take care of her. Like like I tried to get her help and stuff. I just said fuck it one day. And I went back to my parents' house 2 years later. I was 20, and I, uh, I went back in my parents' house, and I was in my parents' house, and I stopped smoking synthetic pot. I would go through like 2, 3 dab pens of that a week easily. I mean, I was a fiend for it. So when I stopped smoking, I couldn't eat or sleep for like that entire week I was at my parents' house. So I started to hallucinate more and more throughout the week, and then my parents went on a vacation at the end of that week, and so I was alone. So I didn't have anyone to talk to. So the hallucinations got worse. Eventually, I it just got so bad. Someone texted me something, and it pissed me off. My thoughts got so loud. I couldn't hear my own thoughts. It was like the strangest thing. Uh, Cause like it was like I was watching what I was doing, but all of a sudden I got up, I threw my laptop across the room. I went into the garage, grabbed a thing of gasoline, poured it all over the carpet through the house like a trail of gasoline, and then I lit a match at the front door. And then it blew out in the wind, and then I saw the ring camera, and I punched the ring camera, which was metal. Didn't even feel it. I destroyed the ring camera with my fist, and then I lit another match, threw it in the house, saw the fire rush, and there was still some gasoline in the can on the floor that I left, and I knew that thing could have exploded, so I ran to my car, and I just drove in a straight line all the way out into the Indiana country, and I mean I wasn't even thinking, but then all of a sudden I saw this Amish woman hanging clothes, and the first thought that came to my head was everyone's got to work, and then I was like, what about my fucking neighbors? My neighbors don't deserve this. My parents don't deserve this. What did I do? Why did I do that? I don't even know. So I turned back. I checked on the house when I got back into town, and I saw that there was just like smoke all over the place. And so I drove straight to the police department, and I didn't say a word. I picked up a pen, grabbed a piece of paper, wrote fire emergency at my parents' address, wrote my parents' address down, slipped it to the guy at the desk, the police officer at the desk, and I sat down, and they could smell the gasoline on my feet because when I poured it out, it was on my feet, and fucking It didn't take long. They tried to get me to talk, but I was just in so much shock I couldn't talk. When they took me um, to the intake at the jail in the holding cell, I didn't talk for the first 6 hours. They thought I was a complete tweaker. And I mean, I was in that intake for 3 days just because they didn't know what to do with me. I needed to calm down. Eventually, I was in a 2-man pod with a fucking sex.
No.
Okay. And yeah, and then I was in the county for 4.5 months. I had to learn, how to act, what not to do, what to do, who to stay away from. And when I got out, I went to the halfway house because I told the judge everything. I told the judge about my synthetic marijuana problem. And he seemed to understood that I didn't have to go to prison. They indicted me on F2 aggravated arson. If I would have been charged with that, I would have. I mean, that would have. They would have treated it like a murder charge. I'd have been in prison for good 8, like 6 to 8 years probably. When I would have gotten out, I wouldn't have been able to find housing anywhere because of an arson registry. But they took pity on me, and they knocked it down to a plea deal for F3 vandalism, which I'm grateful for. All I got was 6 months in the halfway house and 5 years probation. So at the halfway house, those fuckers, 50% of the people at the halfway house across the street from Lebanon were just bad people. But in order for me to be protected, I had to fit in with this gang, the Cincinnati White Boys, and they were like, "Hey man, if anything happens to you, let us know. We'll do something about it," And I'm so grateful for that. They give me red clothes, I've never been a gangbanger or anything, and I'm not, but like I'm grateful that they took me under their protective wing to this day. And yeah, I mean that place was a mess, but I got out and I'm doing fine now. So I mean that's pretty much the story. I was kind of rambling.
No, it was good, dude. Thank you.
What are you gonna do with that? So overall, I'd say I'm blessed to have not gone to prison, and I'm thankful for that every day. And I get along so much better with my parents now too. And they were just worried about me. I tell my family I love them, and we all get along, and everything's so much better now. So if you think that things suck, you can come out of it, and things will get better if you keep your head up. So,
Word.
yeah.